You told Benedikt it was put your ears to the
Put
east.
Your ears.
Keep your ears.
With all your ears.
To
To ears.
All right.
Oh, good job, guys. Great episode.
That's
nice.
I'm fucking boiling, man. It's like really hot in here.
Oh.
Yeah, same.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go for a piss now, so I'll see you on Discord in a minute, okay?
All right, dude. Take care.
See you, man.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Thank fuck, he's gone.
Yeah. Who?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, I thought he'd never leave. I didn't think he'd shut up. My God. So I'm not.
Yeah, and always pop music, man.
Pop music,
really
pop
can't
music,
get down
pop
with
music.
that stuff.
Man, maybe we should talk about that. Maybe that should be the subject of why metal fucking rocks and how it is wrong. How it is always wrong.
Just always.
So go on, I'll let you kick off this because we get to talk a little bit about this, and you know, nobody do you hear this, Benedikt? Do you hear that? Exactly.
Nothing. Oh man.
Nothing.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Something we're missing.
I know. So me and you have been really, obviously, we're quite alike in our tastes in quite a similar way. My camera, there you go.
Yeah, just wanted to say.
No, we're quite similar tastes. So why? This is what we're going to talk about. Why metal? Because we love so many. Like again, Lovebites, I look at Morpheus. Me and you have the same taste and so many different stuff. But the main question is why metal? Why is Japanese metal?
Sorry, that's a helicopter. 1 second.
That's a helicopter. So what you didn't see was he wasn't wearing pants, and that was the helicopter he was talking about.
And I'm back.
And he's back with the helicopter. But why metal, man? Why metal? What really kind of like ingrains you with Japanese metal?
Yeah, I mean, metal in general, I've listened to metal all my life, basically, since I've been pretty young. Like the first music I started to get into was like punk rock, so I was always down with like electric guitars and a bit of a rougher style, I would say. And yeah, interestingly enough, then I went to a phase where I was mostly listening to electronic for a couple of years, but then I got back into metal and it really grabbed me like nothing did ever before, I would say. Such, I don't know, such power, such emotion. It's just, you don't have that in any other genre, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe like classical music a bit, but yeah, you can also combine it with metal to make it even better.
Yes, I love it. What are your kind of like go-to artists at the minute? Like when you stick a playlist on or you think, you know what, fuck this shit, fuck pop.
Like
We're just blasting
go...
out the metal. What do you put on? What does Benedikt just like on the YouTube channel sit back to with his big massive fucking speakers tuned up to 11 and just like metal me?
So it's not actually an Eastern group, but I have to mention this because this is my go-to. It's a group called Revocation. I think they're from the US. They exist for a pretty long time, but they're really underrated. I think they have like the 7th album, I think, or 8th even.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Even the 9th? I'm not sure. Anyway, they have some really, it's like extreme metal, so it's like as heavy as you can get. And even for me, there's like a border, I would say. This is like too heavy, too fucked up, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like still has all that musical greatness that I want, but very heavy.
But very, very heavy. When the guitar's tuned down low.
Yeah, also, yeah, growls all the way.
Yeah. Like do you what's like too much growls for you? Do you have like a cutoff point? I know you just said before. Like I like aggressive growls, like stylistic growls. Where I kind of draw the line is when growls become like and you can't hear anything. Like that's my cutoff point.
Yeah, to me, it's like if the growl is like varied with things like Yukina, for example, from Hanabie, great, or Tatiana from Ginger. Those are like the top screamers for me because their screams are so varied. They go like not only go from screams to growls, they also have different types of growls. And yeah, it's really diverse and really keeps you on your toes because you never know like what will hit you.
Yeah, I'm noticing the love for female metal vocalists there. Is that like a preference?
Absolutely.
Or,
Mm,
or is
I
that
would
just
say
by
I
chance?
think I don't know. Those are actually when I'm looking for female vocalists in metal, it's more about the clean singing actually.
Mm. See, that's my thing as well. Like when it comes to like Western metal for me, like I really love like the hardcore, obviously. Like for me, it's like Parkway Drive, As I Lay Dying, your traditional Slipknot and stuff like that. You know, Slaughter to Prevail, I seem to be liking a lot recently, which is like proper. But what I find myself listening to more, believe it or not, on the Japanese metal side is actually quite clean vocals. I like that. I said this a million times before, like that Castlevania gothic kind of vibe. And for me, there's no better person that does that than Fuki from Unlucky Morpheus. She just has such
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
awesome, clean vocals. I freaking love it. So it is so good. What's your take on that? Like, have you found yourself like on the Japanese scene, like leaning more again towards the growls or like the cleans?
But I like both, and I most like a good mixture of all of them, which is a lot of times. And like Unlucky Morpheus, they have a lot of diversity. Like sometimes Sheeran will come in and scream and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. I always get like bored if it's the same style. Like sometimes there are like growlers who have like just that one growl. It will, I don't know, it doesn't sound really interesting to me. It's just like
Yeah, my rule
very
of thumb
monotone.
is my rule of thumb is if I can't understand a single fucking word, then it's not for me.
I really think it has to fit. I mean, on some levels, I could maybe even agree with Howard that it has to kind of fit the vibe. But I mean, if you are in extreme metal, then it fits the vibe.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. It really does. And that's the one thing that I really love about metal that I don't think you can get from pop. Going back to Unlucky Morpheus quickly, Jill's violin, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
again, I know there's something beautiful about fucking guitar solo and guitars with a fucking violin or a piano. You don't get that in
Yes,
pop,
man. That combined solo and Angreifer, that's so good.
You don't get that in pop. You may get a violin or something, but it's so wimpy and underutilized and just not done. Not the violinist never gets to show off. It's all about the frilly dancing and the girls in the video and the cute vocals.
Can I ask you though, what do you think of Nightwish?
I really like Nightwish. Right. So I have a little bit of history with them. I really liked them when I was younger. And I believe the first singer, her name always escapes me. It begins with T. Again, I'm awful with names. But anyway, the first people will know in the comments. The first singer left.
Tarja,
yeah, that's it. Tarja. She left, and they had a second singer. And I must admit that when she left, I kind of zoned out of them, and I kind of.
Yeah, I think like the second was the least impressive one.
Yeah, I kind of didn't listen to them for many years. And then when I started doing my YouTube channel, people started reacting Nightwish, and I was like, "Fuck me, are they still going?" And then obviously that introduced me to like Floor and her like operic kind of style of singing, which unlike Tarja, which was like traditional classical opera, she is like rock opera. She has more of a like aggression and power behind her voice more than the delicate side of that. And that really kind of got me back into Nightwish again. I was like, ooh, I like this direction. And
yeah, I think like Nightwish is like the most comparable Western band to things like Unlucky Morpheus. Just has this more a bit classical vibe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think,
orchestral.
Yeah, I think the difference is, and again, I've said this before in many videos, but it is the way that Eastern bands write their metal. It's so much classical. Like Nightwish is good, and there is so much classical vibe in there, but a power chord is still a power chord, and they use a lot of that. Whereas if you go to like Unlucky Morpheus, it is way more technical. If you looked at both those music on a piece of paper and on a sheet of music, you'd look at Nightwish and go, okay, that's pretty box standard for many. And then you look at Locomotive and you'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like, how do my fingers, like, you know, contort to such
I absolutely agree
way?
on that. Yeah. Way more technical, but still I would say Nightwish has some pretty intense or like pretty thought out songwriting. I mean, with songs like almost 20 minutes long and stuff.
Do you have like a length of song? Like, do you ever like, is 20 minutes too long to you, or like an 8-minute song too long to you?
If the song keeps me interested, no.
No. Yeah, I know. I agree with that as well.
I think we talked about that in the last one as well, about song length. But I find it really funny because, or like not funny, but interesting because I mentioned before I was listening to electronic music for some years, and then a very specific song like the Nightwish Ghost Love Score live video with Floor from Wacken.
Yeah, I love that one.
Sure, everyone knows that. And that was really the video. I was watching it and I was like blown away by the intensity and the emotion in that. And man, that's when I went out and already immediately bought like 3 of the albums.
Exactly. I feel like that's like probably one of the reasons one of our favorite bands, which is Baby Metal, why they're so popular. Because not only do they incorporate the poppy side, but the reason why they kick ass more than any band Howard ever endorses on this channel is because they are also into metal. It's that metal concept of these girls just absolutely fucking kicking ass, but also being so cute while they do it. And I can't even say that anymore. Although the girls are still cute, they are like fully grown women now that are still kicking ass to this day.
Baby Metal really made me like pop a lot more, because before Baby Metal I hated pop. I couldn't. It really made me angry listening to pop for a long time. I remember a specific car drive. I was so mad. And just because it was so boring to me, and I don't know, it felt like torture. But now I can actually, you know, enjoy the other elements a bit. But it took me a lot of years, actually, like a couple of years to really grow into that, I would say. And still, metal is absolutely superior in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, touching on what you just said, you could probably make the argument in both cases there. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really into pop that like find themselves maybe liking a few more rock bands and a few more metal bands now, and you know, the other way as well. I'm exactly the same with you on that. In that case, I find myself really liking metal, but also kind of getting into more lighthearted stuff, like I said before, like Lisa and all those, you know, kind of bands, Guitar Spin and stuff like that. But nothing compares to like, I don't know, like just metal as a whole. There's so much more to it. I always find myself getting I wouldn't say bored with pop, because it is boring. Howard, and he is editing this video, by the way, so I don't know what the fucking state of this is going to be after, but he is wrong. But pop is sometimes so tedious and repetitive, and I always feel like when there's a craze or a phase that permeates through the pop industry, I feel like everybody tries to cash in on that cash cow. It's like, this is the trend now, so we all need to do this. And I feel like pop music gets very, very stale very, very quickly as everybody kind of copies their own other people's stuff, and it's just like it eventually just becomes a copy after a copy after a copy. Whereas
also I feel like it's missing an identity a bit, because with metal, you know, they have their style, they have I don't know, their identity, what music they want to make, and with pop it's just it's the next pop thing.
It is like if you could play a couple of
sounds
pop
the same like all the others.
It does. It sounds the same. Like you could put a couple of pop artists together and try to tell somebody who doesn't know who they are apart, and you'd be like, I got no fucking clue. They all fucking sound the same. Whereas I'd like to believe that if you put Baby Metal, Lovebites, Unlucky Morpheus, and Maximum the Hormone on, I think people would be pretty confident that they'd be able to fucking tell who's the difference between who.
Yeah.
And that's because they have their own style. They're all so individualistic in how they do it as well. And that's the glorious thing about metal as well. The very essence of it is pouring just like your soul and emotions to it.
But I think, to be granted, you have to distinguish between like Western pop and like K-pop and J-pop, because for me, I mean, I don't know a lot of it, but everything I heard from K-pop, I mean, it's a bit more interesting. Like Western pop is the worst. It's the most boring and mundane. I don't know. It's really just background music for me.
We could both agree on that one. I think
yeah.
Howard would as well.
I think K-pop, it's a bit better, a bit more interesting, but still has the same, I don't know, boringness to it. But J-pop, in parts, I would say it's actually pretty interesting. There are a lot of like elements from different genres actually. So it's not actually the pop, but yeah, they blend it together really nice. So I actually enjoy some J-pop, but nothing else.
So I'm kind of in between. I don't like Western pop. I haven't listened to Western pop for fucking God knows how long. I actually quite enjoy some K-pop though. Not all of it. A vast majority of it, like you said, are very, very samey, very, very formulaic. But there are a couple of acts, a handful of acts that do quite surprise me and do kind of like pop out every so often.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know a lot.
With J-pop, like I said, I really, really like it as well. But it just doesn't flow. It doesn't tickle my pickle the same way metal does. There's something just so freaking good. I feel like the essence of Howard is within you in this video so far, Benedikt. You're defending the pop.
I mean, I have to give some credit to J-pop because, yeah, compared to Western pop, I immediately will.
Oh yeah, it's way better
and
than
with
Western
J-pop.
pop.
I can listen to it. I can enjoy some songs, you know, but it's not the same as with metal. I mean, even metal, I don't like every metal. I don't like every metal group. There is, like I said before, there is metal that even for me is like a bit too extreme. Things like, what's it called? Man, what is it called?
Do you like bands like Broken by the Scream?
Yeah, I do like it, but that's also like the
borderline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
I mean,
close.
they have also a lot of like different elements in it. So it's not just that extreme metal. It's mixed up nicely, I would say.
So there's like I said, there's so many great things. Again, I just love like Rip Roaring solos.
Lorna Shore, that's what I was thinking
Oh,
about.
Lorna Shore.
You know it?
Yeah. I've done a few reactions.
That's like to me, that's a bit over the top, like over the line. I don't really enjoy it anymore. I mean, it's it kind of blends because, you know, things like Black Dahlia Murder, for example, I love it, and that's like really extreme stuff.
Yeah, I like I said,
different way.
In a different way. I really feel like the good thing about Japanese pop, I suppose, is it doesn't just stay pop. There is so many artists that kind of blend themselves into rock, blend themselves a little bit more towards metal. I mean, let's take one of Howard's favorite bands in Guitaric Spin recently. They've been
oh, I wanted to say and trash them, but I can't do that.
Yeah, trash them. The shite. No,
I cannot trash Guitaric Spin. I'm sorry.
But even their music recently, you can really tell that they're kind of really leaning into the more like rockier aspects a little bit more as of late. Another one of Howard's bands, again, kind of slowly going in the same direction, although he'll never fucking admit it. Hanabie.
I wouldn't really call it pop music. It's more like, I don't know, I would more, it's difficult to describe because
it is difficult to
diverse, but I would more say like funk rock.
Rock. Maybe. So let us know in the comments how you would genre these bands.
I mean, there are some songs that could be called pop, I guess. Some Tomo songs, for example, a bit of the softer ones.
Yeah. Like I said, just seeing like a lot of artists, like again, like Hanabie, slowly going more heavier over time. I feel like metal gets more appreciation now than it probably ever did. I think it's more widely accepted as well, a lot more now than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know, even when I was growing up, even in the West, like to like Slipknot or Machine Head was considered niche, you know, at the time. And now, you know, you see like chavs walking around with Slipknot t-shirts and you're kind of like, huh?
You know, I was surprised. I showed my parents like the song I made on guitar, which is actually, I would say, like thrash metal style. So I didn't expect them to like it at all. And my mom listened to it like, oh yeah, that's nice, rocky, and what?
That's when you know. That's when he instantly threw the song in the bin after. He was like, "No, the parents liked it. It's not hard enough."
Yeah, basically.
It reminds me of when I was a bit younger and I liked My Chemical Romance, and I really loved them. And then my mom started playing "Teenagers Scared the Living Shit Out of Me," and as soon as my mom started liking My Chemical Romance, I was like, "Nope, can't play with that anymore." Like they instantly became uncool overnight. So it's, so you do see those things, but yeah, like again, seeing the likes of like Miyako shredded and then like starting a song up on piano, there's just so much more to metal. And the one thing I do love about Japanese metal the most is the experimentation with that. Again, which I think Western metal has maybe lost over the last couple of years, but it's very standard, very, very formulaic. They're all trying to be the image of, oh, we're so metal.
I mean, there are still groups that, are great.
And
Ginger, for example, it's really, you couldn't really put that in any box.
They are really, really good. I've been getting into Spirit Box as well recently, which are also, again, really, really liking. But these are all like new up and coming bands that really weren't prevalent when we were younger. I mean, the most I could think of was probably Evanescence, the Kuna Coil maybe back then. I couldn't
like the heaviest stuff back then, you mean?
Yeah, back then, yeah. Like I couldn't really.
I was heavier back then. I had like In Flames, Lamp of God.
Yeah, but can you think of like a really like woman-centric heavy metal band that was popular back then, like they are now?
Arch Enemy, maybe.
Oh yeah, I suppose. I mean, Arch Enemy's been around for fucking forever. Jesus Christ, Arch Enemy will be playing by the time I'm dead. They'll still be going. Arch Enemy will outlive us all. So
yeah, but it's true. There are not a lot. Maybe that's why we are drawn to it, because it's something new for us.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts and stuff in the comments are like. Just like literally, like, do you like metal? Or are you a little bit more open to it? Do you like more the pop side of Japanese music? Are you more lenient towards metal now, or is metal all you come for in the Japanese industry?
Yeah. Also, like, what's the heaviest metal song you ever heard? I would like to know that.
Yes. Let us know what the most.
And we will force Howard to listen to it.
And we'll force Howard to listen to it. Yes, we'll make that a video. We will force Howard to listen to the most brutal song that you guys can suggest to us. I'm sure he will love that.
What would be your pick?
What would be my pick? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that one. I can't think of anything off the top of my head because because I know me, I'll think of something and then give it like a couple of days and I'll be like, no, this song, this song, and then there'll always be something that pops into my head. Straight off the bat,
I would go one. It's Revocation, which I mentioned before, that which consumes all things.
That consumes all things. I love that. That's dark and foreboding.
Such a nasty, dark introduction. I love it.
I like that. For Japanese bands, I don't know what I would suggest. There's not a lot of Japanese bands, even metal ones. I don't think Howard is not aware of.
Yeah, aware.
So trying to find one that maybe is brutal enough that like he may not.
What does he think of? Like, do you know what he thinks of Nemophila? Because I'm thinking of songs like Dissension, which are actually really heavy, and I mean her scream, it's fierce.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe,
but it also has that poppy side.
It does, yeah. They do quite a lot of that. Although I do feel like Nemo's been getting a little bit more heavier recently. Again, one of those bands also leaning more into the heavier side. Seems to be a recurring theme at the minute in the industry. It feels like, anyway.
I like that very much.
I do as well. I'm all for that. Japanese seems to be just like the best place to go, not only for metal at the minute, but pop. I would go so far as to say punk as well is doing really well over there. There's so many genres of music that are thriving in Japan, which I think in the West we tend to just stick to what's popular and what's cool, and everything outside of that never really kind of gets a shout.
Hmm.
You know,
I wanted to ask you about growls. Like, do you prefer growls or cleans, or is there any preference? Because I think there are a lot of people who are really turned off by growls and screams.
I like both. Personally, the more the aggressive the growl, the better for me. The type of singing I like, especially on the growl side, is like I said, is aggression based. I don't like the pig squeals and the again the really when it's too deep that it's like intangible to make out kind of vocals. I was like, don't really like that. I like the forced aggression, but you can still hear what they're saying. I like that. As somebody who likes to put on some metal songs and get some anger out of my system and some like just pent up fucking rage. That's the best way to do it. You know, you headbang for a little bit, you have some fun, and then you just feel all nice and calm. And
yeah, it's really relieving. I agree.
is. So what about you? Like, is there a preference for vocals that you tend to lean towards?
Like I said before, I mostly prefer a good mix of all. That's pretty much my preference, if there's a bit of everything. But I mean, yeah, as long as it's not, I would say in general, I prefer more the clean singing actually. But yeah, for certain parts, the growling, it adds the needed intensity and aggression, like you said.
So what are your thoughts then, honestly, while Howard's not here, to our darling audience? May lose a few subscribers now. But
I'm always honest.
Always honest. Always honest. What are your thoughts on like obviously the anime vocals that for some bands? There's really over the top cutesy vocals. Like honest, what's your thoughts on that?
Like I said in the beginning, like also getting into baby metal, I wasn't a big fan of it. It was a bit weird to me. Still, like, Give Me Chocolate at the beginning, it wasn't for me. I gotta be totally honest. But over the years, I really just, it's something in most groups, it's just something that it's added on top. Like you have the normal clean singing, you have screams and growls, but then you also have that cute vocals added as just another element. And for that, I really love it. Like, I don't know, all the vocal delivery by Hanabie. There's so many different styles. It's like growls, screams, cleans, cutesies, everything. And that's exactly how I prefer it. So I actually really like it. I mean, in some, yeah, I don't know. No, I actually really like it now.
Is there any cutoff point for you? Just like growls, like does the cutesy stuff ever become too much?
I wouldn't say not just the vocals alone. Then it really has to have that whole vibe. Then it can get like too much cutesy for me. But if it's metal, then so far I haven't encountered any metal with cute vocals where I would say, no, that's too much for me.
Well, there you go.
Things I don't like more that passcode, these very edited vocals, that can be a bit off-putting, but not the cute vocals.
Not the cute vocal. Well, there you go. Confirmed.
But it sounded like you maybe have some
cute metal vocals. Cute metal vocals are better than cute pop vocals. There you go. That was Benedikt's take on that. I wouldn't say I have a tolerance for it. Like I like the cute vocals and I like to give that a try. I would say that I probably do have like a cut-off point where I can listen to something for half an hour and then go, all right, okay, that's enough internet for the day. And I'm like, that's enough. And I probably need to give something a bit of time before I come back to it. If I'm not like 100% sold. But I think for both of us, I feel like we're both quite open individuals where we like everything, like a facet of pop, facet of metal, jazz, funk, punk. Like, I can't say I'm ever put off by any. But like anything, like even metal in this case, like if it goes too much in one direction, it can become unbearable. When it's like the pinnacle of like over the fucking top, it can be too much. And that's the case for metal. That's the case for pop. In fact, actually, it's not the case for pop. It only needs to be like slightly popish, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that. But like, if a jazz song is like too jazzy, if it's like too slow jazz, that it's like excruciatingly painful to listen to because it's just like.
I mean, there might be a mood where that's a fitting song.
Yeah, but sometimes you listen
in
to
general
that,
speaking,
yeah, when you're listening to that, I'm just like, yeah, that's not doing anything. You know, so it's the same in everything, like in every genre. But traditionally,
yeah, I think, but maybe that's one of the reasons why we like Japanese music, especially because I think in J-pop, in J-metal, in J-rock, they always blend in a lot of different things, you know, like electronics or jazz or some other stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Western bands, they mostly stick to their thing, and that's it.
And that's it. So yeah, like you said, like metal as a
like
whole,
pop music, to get back to the topic. It's
yes,
also
like pop music, and why it is horrendous.
just not as varied.
And not varied, and not as fun or brutal or heavy as the metal.
Probably shouldn't have said that. Tons of comments like, pop music is so varied, listen to this.
I wonder how he's gonna
Like
edit.
I said, Japanese music pop music is a lot better.
Yeah, I wonder how he's gonna edit this. Just every time we say metal and praise metal, he just puts he just cuts it to like where he says pop.
I love pop music.
Insert Howard edit here now saying, I like pop, you fuckers. But yeah, like I said, metal is really, really good. I really, really like it. Like Howard's a really, really good sport as well. For letting us talk a little bit about metal and why it's so fucking awesome, because I know Howard is rolling his eyes somewhere in the world right now. just imagine again. I'm just imagining insert Howard. But yeah, I really, really love it. I think Japanese metal as well is the best metal going in the world. And I don't just say that because of the genre of metal. I say that because of the Japanese culture, because they don't just make metal the best metal in the world. They make arguably every genre in the world the best.
It's really
genre.
crazy, man. In the beginning, I thought when I discovered like the first 10 groups, okay, I've discovered like the cool groups out of Japan, but then you go on and like after 50 groups, it just keeps going, and every day you get recommended something else. It's really insane how much, and everything of that, it's like quality music.
Yeah,
it's not like some guy in his garage playing.
There's an old like meme saying that if you can play guitar or piano, there's a Japanese kid out there that can do it twice as better than you. That is,
I mean, that kind of comes down to the culture, I think, because they are people who like to perfect their work.
Perfection, I think. Yes, and it is so much like you feel like any genre. If you feel like a Western rock band or like a gothic band or something like that from the West. And then you'll go and watch something like, for me at the minute, I showed you Kizu, still waiting for your second video. But Kizu at the minute, you go and see someone like Kizu, and I'm just like, this is so much better than that. And I'm like, you know, or if you want to listen to metal, like proper rip roaring solos and heavy metal, Lovebites for me at the minute is far superior than anything I'm enjoying in the West. You know, then you got the likes of Hanabie, which is like that cutesy vocals, but like brutal at the same time. And then you've got gothic serenading again from Fuki and Unlucky Morpheus, which at the minute is replacing My Nightwish, like we were talking about before. It has it all. The metal scene at the minute is just fucking full of great fucking shit.
It's like you have like your pop edge, like with Hanabie and stuff like that in metal. So you don't need the pop side. You don't need just pop.
There you go. I would argue you don't need pop at all, but
just add some metal to make it better.
Just add add some metal into your life, and it'll be so much more better.
That can be the title of the video. Just add some metal.
Just add some metal. There you go, Howard. We're doing your job for you, mate. But yeah, I'd be interested to know in the comments down below what you guys think of the subject. It's been just a little fun one talking about metal without Howard interrupting why pop is far superior every 2 seconds. But I'm sure you'll miss him, and he will be back with us for the next video for sure. But let me know as well in the comments, like, what kind of metal bands are you into? What tickles your pickle? You know, what really kind of like
tickles your pickle.
Tickles your pickle. Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know what tickles your pickle. And what you kind of discovered that you were like, oh, I didn't really like this, but then I found, you know, that you've ended up really, really loving it, whether or not it be, again, Maximum Hormone, Unlucky Morpheus, freaking anything that you think that you really, really like, would be really, really interested to hear about it. Do you want to add anything, Benedikt?
Yeah, like I said before, let us know like the heaviest stuff that you know, and also like, is there a border for you? This is too heavy, or this is too pop, or are you open to anything? Let us know all about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're interested to hear your thoughts on it. Obviously, we mean this in good human faith as well. Like you said, like both of us said before, we both love all genres, whether it be pop, metal, punk, funk.
Except Western pop.
Except the Western pop, yeah. It could be freaking 80s disco, and believe me, Japan does it better. At the minute, it's so good. But thank you guys for joining as well. We really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. We love everybody that's supporting the channel right now, and it's really, really nice to see the numbers continue to grow, the views getting higher each and every week. So yeah, you guys are absolutely freaking amazing. And yeah, don't forget to keep your ears to the east. I'm sure it's one of those directions.
Yeah.
All right, Howard, cut the video off, man. Cut the video off.